right, Living Environment fans, it's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Gotta get down. Yeah, there's only a couple Fridays left. I think this Friday and next Friday, and then the Friday after that is the Regents exam. It's never too early to start thinking about the Regents exam. So, yeah, hopefully you've got a plan to study for that. We're gonna do some studying in class, but it also behooves you to do some work on your own, right? Because no one's gonna take it for you. You've got to take it, and you're the one that has to pass it, all right? Let's talk about landfills a little more today. Why not? All right. Hey now. Mr. Kovacs class. It's Mr. Kovacs class. You might learn a ton. It's Mr. Kovacs class.
He's interested too.
It's Mr. Kovacs class.
And he's super cool.
It's Mr. Kovacs class. Yes, human impact on the environment. That's what we're studying these days. And there's some things you need to know for the Regents exam, and some things you just need to know to be a well-read, balanced human being who has an understanding of how things work. First of all, there's always going to be waste. We learn a lot about waste, right? All year. We learn that the waste product of photosynthesis. Well, you tell me, what's the waste product of photosynthesis? Good. And that had an impact on the environment. In fact, if you remember the story, waste product of photosynthesis, which is oxygen gas, led to mass extinctions, right? With the exception of certain bacteria and cyanobacteria that were able to work in an oxygen-rich environment, right? Let's see, what's the waste product? There's two waste products you need to know from doing cellular respiration to make ATP. What are those two waste products? Good, it's carbon dioxide and H2O, water, right? And then there's lots of waste products made from manufacturing and burning and combustion and industrialization and things like that. And those all go into the biosphere somewhere. And as humans, one of the things that we need to start to do, or that we can do, is we can manage that a little bit to make sure that at least the parts we're responsible for don't impact our species and other kinds of living things in too much of a negative way. One of the things that we do, which is good, is we now use landfills for our waste. I know it's going to sound weird that throwing out garbage is good, but it is when it's contained in a landfill. And when you do practices, make sure you try to minimize the amount of waste that you make. All right, so in our neck of the woods, the landfill is in, the Clinton County landfill is in Morrisonville on the Sand Road, and it's run by a company called Casella, and they will take your garbage and put it into the landfill. They call it the sanitary fill, because it will be forever locked, your garbage will be locked in this tomb of landfill. And if we look at the landfill a little bit more closely, it's not just thrown in a hole, it's not just dumped like in the old days, but a landfill is lined with compacted soil, some actual synthetic bioliners, some more compacted soil, sand and gravel, right? So you get this thick, compacted layer that's impermeable to garbage moving through. And in fact, the Clinton County landfill collects any waste leachate, any water that seeps through the garbage and picks up, pollutants that it might be sitting in the garbage landfill, picks it up and it pumps it out and pumps it to the wastewater treatment facility, all right? Likewise, they cap the landfill. Once it's filled, it's capped again with an impermeable layer of sand and clay and a biological synthetic liner. And a couple things that are interesting that they do is that the waste sitting in the landfill generates a lot of methane gas, which is a greenhouse gas. So it is collected and sent to a power plant that's on site, and they generate electricity with that methane gas. It still produces carbon dioxide gas as a waste product of combustion, So it's not 100% clean, but it does use at least the product of the garbage, methane gas, to make electricity. So it's kind of an upcycled version of the garbage. Of course, there's only so much room in the landfill. Estimates are anywhere from 65 to 85 years left in our Clinton County landfill, as long as people are throwing garbage away at the same rate and it doesn't increase. Right? And that's why it's important to recycle. And I know that you've heard all about recycling, but recycling is important because it reduces the amount of waste that goes into the landfill. Right? Get to reuse things like glass and plastic and cardboard and stuff like that. It can be reused over and over again, so it doesn't go sit here forever in the tomb of garbage. Some good things that we do, of course, are landfills, wastewater treatment facilities, sewage treatment plants. All of these things are good to protect the environment from pollutants, from waste products getting back into the environment. Because we don't want to, as a species, cause the demise of other species, including our own. Definitely. All right. So today in class, you're going to go on a trip to Recycle City, USA. You're going to learn a little bit more about recycling and use of wastes and stuff like that. And yeah, you're going to watch Ed Puzzle video about recycling. And then we'll start talking about the Regents exam. And then for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be focused just on the Regents. So happy Friday. Have a good time on Friday. Partying, studying. Yeah, fun. Looking forward to the Regents.